I don't think budget headphones stand a chance against budget earphones at this point. 2021, let's say budget is 200 and below. That's not budget in earphones, but let's talk about the stuff that people can afford with a single paycheck from a week. I don't think it happens now. I don't think it probably will ever happen because the sheer variety of earphones that you have out there, some of them are simple dynamic, some are hybrids where you're taking care of the low end with a dynamic, then you've got balanced armatures, and hopefully they're well tuned. Let me give you an example of a well tuned set. TRI SUSVARA, elevated sub bass, smooth transition through the mids, corrected by the time it gets to the mids, a gain that's not obnoxious, information all the way out to 8K before it starts to fall off, but not descending to the point where it takes away from the upper harmonics of some instruments. It's a very well-tuned set, and there's lots and lots of TRI SUSVARA type sets out there. This is the HE6se by HiFiman, which stimulated this video. While preparing to do the review for it, which I'm not going to do, I didn't do one for the Deva. I'm not doing one for this, but let me stick it in here really quick to give you an example. This is big boy. Like the 660S by Sennheiser, like the Sundara. Forget about the 2020. That's a pad change according to some people. Send people pads, HiFiman. Upgrade your cables. Do something, for fuck's sake. That sounds like you're ripping people off. If that's true, that's simply, if you change the pads, you get basically the same as what they're claiming the 2020 Sundara is. You're getting ripped off if you buy that set. Take the old set, get it cheaper, and then buy the pads. Or you can't be bothered. I don't know. I don't like that kind of tactic, actually. So you got this set, and it's not playing the triple hit at all. It's like the 660S and the Sundara and the Deva, and there's other sets that don't do it very well. Then you go, you're not into hip-hop. Okay, that's fine. We go to Black Sabbath, and we got a 4-string bassist that's doing very fast pulls and releases. There's a lot of IEMs that don't do it well. There's a lot that do it well, including some ones in the budget. This does not do that well. This gives the sense that the pulls are fine, but the releases are incomplete. Anybody that has this set that listens to Black Sabbath, go ahead and listen to that. Then take a set that you really like and you're sure has good accuracy in the low end and tell me if you hear a difference. I can. I really didn't care. I bought this and thought, this would be interesting. You know what I mean? Like $129. I got a lot of budget people on my channel. Give them a good rec. I don't rec you buy this. I think you should save your money unless you're an EQ jockey and you really like the EQ, because you're going to have to EQ the bass, definitely. I think you're going to have to EQ the upper treble to get a sense of authenticity for cymbal strikes, for upper harmonics with the guitar, and sometimes, in some cases, depending on the master, vocals. So there's a lot going wrong with this, and I actually don't think the EQ will fix the sense of low res. This just doesn't sound very good. Mick Jagger, Wild Horses, particular version I'm talking about is VSCD 1578 version 1, or version VSCD 1578. I'm sorry, VSCDJ 1578. So you can look that up and find the specific thing I'm talking about. The listening on this was done at 77 dB, and I had a this is Awenio. I had in this feeling to constantly reach out and turn it up a little bit, because stuff, not in the bass, kind of everything else sounded like it was laying up under a haze. So this is a very poor set, and I would recommend you stay away from it. You would get, I think the Sundara sounds better than this, but that doesn't have bass. But I thought the Sundara was poor there. I didn't think the Sundara sounded like paper cup stuff. I think that's a better set than this, but I don't know that that's really worth its kind of price, to be honest with you. So this isn't a good set, but the TRI SUSVARA that costs the same amount, and this is just an example. Please leave a comment below about it. If the FIO FH3, how much does that cost? That's a much better set than this set right here. I didn't like the Harmonic Dyne Zeus either, because that is got rolled sub bass, and then the bass just bumps all the way to 1K. What does that do? That makes bass bloat. That makes the bassist and the vocals, depending, especially male with lower, sound like they're kind of on top of each other. It's a really inaccurate replay and doesn't stand up to the same standards that I hold IEMs up to. If a bassist bleeds into vocals, I say it. It's not even a set I might do a video for. For headphones like the Zeus, come on. For my library, there's no way. A concert hall, please. I don't think so. I don't know what. The Orpheum Theater, would that be considered concert hall? Because that's quite small. I don't know. But for $130, stay away from something like this, and stay away from sets that haven't been vetted by many reviewers and have a library matching yours or similar to yours. I can tell you without question that the HE6se is a poor replay and would disappoint you if you have something like the Starcy, the File FH3, the Thea Audio L3. If you have any of those in your possession and then you were to listen to this set and you were judging on quality, on accuracy, this wouldn't hold up at all. It might be nice to have headphones on your ears because it's different or whatever is the goal, but on pure sound quality, I would stay away from this. I don't think that budget headphones, because of the material cost, and I don't think they're ever going to catch up with IEMs. There's simply too many options out there. And then at the end of the day, when you're recommending a headphone or not, you got to consider IEMs. Are you not an IEM guy because you don't like IEMs because they hurt your ears? Okay, fine. I still say you stay away from this. I also say that pay attention to reviewers that do drop videos because they tend to do them a lot. I noticed, I won't get into it, but you can see them and you know who they are. And a lot of stuff that drop releases is pretty damn good, according to them. I disagree, and I think that there's a reason that they say what they say. Right? Another video for that. I can't believe that this would be wrecked by anybody. I don't care. It's a price is in. People should expect, you know, you're paying less, so you're going to get less. Well, in the earphone community, we don't need to do that. We don't need to pay $130 and say that the bass is not really there. And the upper harmonics are not really ideal. And most of the stuff that exists in between those 2 points is not really that good. Sounds kind of. And the fit is okay. And looks like the build quality's not going to make it that long. And I can't see a reason why you'd recommend this set to anybody. I would recommend save money. That's like a joke in this hobby because most people won't, but I'm telling you, don't come back later and say, I should have listened to you. That is actual garbage. You might not think when you get it right away, but compare it with some IEMs. And then later when you get headphones, go back to these and then get a grasp on just, am I spoiled because I have the SUSVARA in my possession? Yes. Would I be saying all of this still if I didn't have that and I didn't have the HE6se V2? Yes, I would, because the difference between the FH3 and the Starcy and the L3 and this is notable, and it's obvious with my library, and it goes across the entire spectrum, sub bass all the way up to the upper treble. It's just a poor set. This is not the cable that comes with it, and again, I listened to it at 77, which means that depending on the music, it's going to vary up, 68 to 85. This didn't really seem to have that much fluctuation. This is a very dead sounding set. Stick to your earphones, people, until you save more money and you can get a decent headphone. A set that has been reviewed by people that listen to music like you, or needs a little bit EQ, like the Odyssey that I got coming up for review. That community knows that you need EQ. This is different from the Odyssey. When you listen to the Odyssey, you know that's there. Like what I hear and how I hear it, it sounds perfect, but it's going to need some EQ. There's a difference between that and this. This sounds lo-fi all the way, and I don't know how you EQ lo-fi to hi-fi. I know how you EQ bass to get impact. I know how you EQ upper treble to get a sense of space. I don't know how you up lo-fi to hi-fi via EQ. I don't think it's possible. So I would say skip this set, definitely. And anything that's very similar to this, unless you're really into EQ. And then I'll remind you that you've got lots of IEMs that people might comment below and give you suggestions that you could choose. And the only comment about that is if you're just not an IEM guy, well then get in a headphone, but don't get this set. You can't fix this set. It can't be done. How could you do that? This is a Jotunheim 2, and I'm coming out of XLR. I'm getting plenty of clean power. This doesn't need that. I still needed to. This is exactly the same position with the SUSVARA, which is a trip, isn't it? I don't think you could drive this off your anything that's got low power. That's another thing. This sounds like something that's being underpowered. I guess that's another way for you to get what I'm trying to say. Have you ever underpowered distortion is something that happens more than overpowered. Overpowered happens in car audio. Not, and home audio, usually you're matching stuff so you don't come into that. Low power distortion is something that happens in personal audio and can give exactly what I'm describing, which is haze, lack of detail, an overall lack of quality. This is a Jotunheim 2 coming out of XLR in high gain, playing at the same volume I evaluated the SUSVARA, and that set right there. And the Meze. And the Meze I could get as being a good set, though it's relaxed and it's not designed for detail monsters or OCD Easter egg hunters. That's not for that. But music lovers like that set. I can get it. But it's not. It's for that group of people. This is for nobody. Get the Starcy. Get the TA Audio L3. Get the FH3. Stay away from stuff like this. Consider the messenger sometimes. When something seems so different, like what I'm saying compared to what other people are saying, consider the message. I have no relation with TRI. None. They've contacted me. I got no relation with these people. The FIO I got myself. They don't contact me anymore because I smashed the HE6se. Obviously got no relation with HiFiman. Consider the messenger. Forget about the messaging, you like it or don't like it. Consider the messenger. Why are people coming up? Remember this, talking about the ideal curve? This one and super reviews, and I got to fix that because it should be named critical instead of IEF, in-ear fidelity. Ratings, enter it. You can see what people are looking for, what their preferences are. Riku Dugoku, he likes a lot of stuff. And then you can kind of guess that. This doesn't really fit anybody's... It's not about the bass and the treble. It's about the overall replay being poor. Save your money. There's simply no excuse for this except to get money. And by the way, I don't know if you can see that, but I saw a person on Drop taking pictures of where the connectors are because they're all scratched up. And I thought, you're overreacting. Who really cares? And then I got my set. And the same thing happened to me, and I thought, what the fuck? I take this out of a box. How is it that another guy on Drop had the same problem that I have? And it looks like somebody was messing around with the connections because there's no problem anywhere else. It's just right there. I don't know if you can quite catch it. I'll turn it to see if you can catch the reflection, but it is all scuffed up, and it came out of the box like that, and there's a person on Drop that's got the same exact issue. I prefer not to put up with this at any price. If I opened a box with the FH3 or the Starcy and it had scratches on the cap, I'd freak, send it back. This really should be sent back, but fuck it, $129. If there's a headphone lover in my Patreon and they're like, dude, throw that in, I'd love to try out what you think is lo-fi. Okay, I'll put it in the box and I'll send it out to y'all. And that's it. I don't think that budget headphones can hold a candle to budget earphones. I don't think they ever will. And this set brought that video to you. It just is poor all the way around. Save your money or invest in something that'll bring you some happiness. Happiness is what you like and nobody else can tell you what that is, but please, I'm telling you with music. I'm not talking about heights, transients, attack. I'm not talking about any of that stuff that you might kind of get and a little bit. I'm talking about bass guitar in a song. I'm talking about a deck mix. I'm talking about a vocalist, Mick Jagger, on a specific track that many people know. I gave you the exact version of that track. Listen to what I'm telling you. I give you information like nobody else does because this is audio gear. These are transducers that play back music. Listen to the music, man. Stop looking at graphs. I have no idea what this one really looks like. I think I saw it actually, but I don't recall. I actually do recall slightly that the bass didn't look like it was rolled. Yet, it doesn't play the low hit on Big Boy. I don't know. Planar is said to be great when it's done well and really not good when it's not done well, like dynamics. And this is a good example of that. Oh, it's a planar. At least it'll be, clear more than a dynamic driver. No, it won't. Get a L3 by TA Audio. Get a FH3 by FIO. Get a Starcy by TRI. Get any number of sets that are recommended below in the comment section, and don't buy cheap headphones because you're going to get what you paid for. Definitely. So it's not worth it. And I'm out.